The story begins in a forest. But no ordinary forest. This is a forest inhabited by children. This little forest village was thought to be magical. Everywhere you looked, there were children and fairies, but not a single adult. The only parental figure they had was an ancient and wise tree they called the Great Deku Tree. The Deku Tree has lived for hundreds of years. One day, the children sensed there was something wrong with the Great Deku Tree, but none approached the Great Deku Tree without being summoned. The fairies and the children all sensed a strong, evil presence. They only did what they knew how to do in times of trouble. They hid in their homes. As the sky grew darker and darker, the whole atmosphere changed. It did not feel safe and cheerful anymore. It felt dark and heavy. If you stayed in that atmosphere too long, you would choke. As the skies grew darker and darker, there was a dark figure flying in the sky. Whatever it was, it had a really ominous feeling. With every passing moment, trees were set ablaze, yet the Great Deku Tree was unharmed. The evil force had confronted the Great Deku Tree.
So this is where the stone is. It was said to be protected by the forest and untouched by time. Who are you? I am the great Ganondorf, king of the Gerudo thieves and powerful magic user. Legend says you collect the 3 stones and place it on the pedestal of time may open the door of time and gain the power of the Triforce, created by the 3 goddesses, Din, Nehru, and Faror. With this power, I will mold the world in my own image. I, the Great Deku Tree, one of the 3 guardians to the Stones of Time, will not allow you to. Where is the Kokiri Emerald? Do not trifle with me, Guardian. You know not the power of which I have. It is inside me, my very core. But good luck finding it. It will only appear if I so will it. I ask you one more time, Guardian. Surrender to me the Kokiri Emerald, or perish. I will be back.
Oh, Ganondorf, this whole tree is mine. Such a lovely new home for me and my babies.
Do with him what you will, Queen Gohma. I shall let you have free reign of this tree. Find me the Kokiri Emerald that lies within, and return to me. Farewell, Guardian.
When Ganondorf left, the Great Deku Tree woke Navi up.
Navi, get up. Get up, Navi.
Navi awakes, only to see the Great Deku Tree in a terrible condition.
Great Deku Tree, what has happened to you?
No time to explain right now, Navi. I need you to go to the village and find a little boy named Link. Link is the only boy without a fairy to call his own.
Great Deku Tree, you're hurt.
Go now, Navi. The fate of the world rests upon his shoulders.
Yes, I will do as you command, Great Deku Tree.
As Navi flew away as fast as she could, she looked back and teared up at the sight of the Great Deku Tree. Navi flies frantically into the village, asking each fairy which house is Link's. They all pointed to it. She flew into his house, only to find him sleeping. She approaches Link and tries to wake him up.
Link! Link! Hey! Link! Wake up!
Navi, being annoyed by not being able to wake him up, she used her special fairy abilities.
Fairy Flash!
The whole room lit up like a Decuna explosion point blank.
What? He seriously slept through all that?
Navi grabs a hold of Link's ear and uses another fairy power.
Fairy spark!
Her whole body becomes electrified and a current passes through Link. Link felt like he got bit by a mosquito.
Buzz off, fairy.
How rude!
She flew up to the ceiling and dove at her full speed and punched Link in the face with both hands.
Fairy dive bomb!
Gah! Ow! What the hell was that? Felt like getting hit in the face with a Deku stick at full force.
Are you awake now? Honestly, can the fate of Hyrule depend on such a lazy boy? Come quick! The great Deku Tree has summoned you.
Me? The great Deku Tree summoned me?
Yes. How many times do I have to repeat myself, Link?
Let's go see the great Deku Tree right away!
As Link walked out of his treehouse, he sees his beloved friend Saria.
Link! Link! You have your very own fairy now! How exciting!
Yeah! I'm one of you guys now!
You'll never be one of us.
Link! Come down!
Link climbed down the ladder, but Mido picked up a rock and threw it at him before he made it all the way down. Link lost his footing and fell 4.5 feet and landed on his head.
What the hell was that for, Mido?
Link was out cold for 5 minutes. As Saria looked at his body, she turned around and slapped Mido. Mido turned and walked away. After that, Link woke up.
Where am I? And why does my head hurt?
You don't remember who you are? Do you remember me? Link. Your name is Link. My name is Saria, your best friend. Link? Are you okay? You seem different.
Link! Link! Snap out of it! The great Deku Tree has summoned you.
Yeah, you're right, Navi. Let's go.
As Link was going towards the path of the great Deku Tree, Mido stepped out of the shadows.
You shall not pass.
And why not, Mido? Come on, let me pass, Mido.
Mido and his two friends Harry and Bush blocked the path to the great Deku Tree. With each try, Link was thwarted by the 3 bullies.
What are you gonna do now, Link? Cry?
Link turned away, sniffled, and then clenched his fist.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Run away, you little baby.
Link continued walking away, but Mido picked up a rock and threw it at the back of his head. The rock hit him. He continued walking away, but then he turned around and ran at full speed, jumped in the air, and drop-kicked Mido in the chest. Mido was breathless for 1.5 minutes. And then Saria walked by.
Stop this fighting, you guys. Apologize now and then go home.
Sorry, Mido.
I would never apologize to a wimp like him. I say he deserved getting a beating like that. He should feel honored that the great Mido would even acknowledge his existence.
Come on, let's go home, Link.
Link waited till nightfall, when everybody was asleep, and snuck out to see the great Deku Tree. Link walked out of the front door, only to find Mido waiting outside.
I knew it! I knew you would try to sneak out. Tell you what, I'll let you go see the great Deku Tree if you take me with you. Deal?
Fine. Deal. Just don't get in my way.
Okay, you won't regret it. But before we go, we need a sword and a shield. For protection.
But where are we going to get them?
I'll get the shield and tell them to put it on my tab.
Okay. What about the sword?
I heard it was in a hole in the wall up a hill near your house. And that it's booby-trapped with rolling rocks.
Alright, I'll grab the sword, and I'll meet you in the path leading towards the great Deku Tree.
Alright, agreed.
Link climbed up the hill and went into the hole. He crawled through the small space, feeling squished, but endured the pressure, knowing that just on the other side was treasure.
Wow, I didn't expect there to be so much room on the other side of this hole.
Link remembered hearing the room was booby-trapped, but saw no signs of such. He crossed the threshold to the corridors and broke a tripwire. As soon as Link stepped into the hallway, he heard a big thud. A rock fell down and started to roll towards him. He ran through hallway to avoid being crushed, and saw the chest that held the Kokiri sword. Link avoided the boulders and opened the chest.
Wow, a real sword! And it's sharp! Not like that fake one either! Wait till Mido sees this!
Link avoided the boulders on his way back, and made his way through the hole, and met Mido at the path towards the great Deku tree.
Ready to go, Mido?
Yeah, but first, hand over the sword.
What? Why? I've got the sword. Why can't I carry it?
Because a wimp like you can't handle a weapon like this.
Fine. Whatever.
They now walk on the path towards the great Deku tree. But as they get closer, it feels more menacing as they continue along the path.
Hey, Link. I don't like this feeling.
Yeah, neither do I, Mido.
As Link and Mido were walking, a Deku Baba caught them off guard when it popped out of the ground.
Mido? I don't think you should touch it.
Don't worry about it, Link. These things only eat bugs, not people.
Mido placed his hand on the Deku Baba, and it lunged forward and took a bite out of Mido's left arm and broke some bones.
Ah! My arm! It hurts! It is bleeding heavily.
Quickly thinking, Link picked up the Kokiri sword off the ground and slashed at the roots of the plant and killed it.
Mido, are you okay now?
Does it look like I'm okay? I have half a broken arm and I'm bleeding everywhere.
Link looked around the forest floor and found a Deku nut. He started scraping it with the sword to get to the meat, pulp, and oil. Link then used the Deku shield as a temporary mortar and used the hilt of the blade as a pestle, and made a salve from the Deku nut and applied it to Mido's arm.
There. Is that better, Mido? It should stop the bleeding.
Actually, yes. The bleeding has stopped. How'd you do that, Link?
Well, throughout the years, while you were playing pretend and relaxing in luxury, I learned how to live off the land through trial and error.
Ow, 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 no, I think it's broken.
Link looked down at the now dead Deku Baba and started cutting it open.
Ew, Link, what are you doing?
Oh, shut up, Mido.
Link cut off all the fat on its chin and cleanly separated its lower jaws and its upper jaws. Link split the lower jaw into two pieces, left and right. Link used its lower jaw as a splint and tied the vine around it. He then proceeded to use the plant membrane as a stretcher.
Thanks, Link.
Don't mention it. Here, you should use the Deku shield and the Lori sword to protect yourself.
But what about you, Link? It'll leave you defenseless.
No worries, Mido. I've got it covered.
Link split the dead Deku Baba's upper jaws into two halves, left and right. He placed the jawbones on the outer part of his arms and tied it to his arms with vines and made a weapon. Link used the Deku Baba's head as a shield. It felt gross, but it was a temporary shield. Its thick and fatty skull would bounce off projectiles.
Are you well enough to defend yourself, Mido?
Yeah.
Let's be off then.
As they walk on the now eerie path, Deku Baba and mad shrubs attack Mido and Link, but they defeated their attackers. The pathway was now open. Link and Mido gasped in horror to see the great Deku tree in his current condition.
What happened to you, Great Deku Tree?
No time to explain right now, children. Please, I beg of you, purge this evil that is within me.
Right away, Great Deku Tree.